everybody. It's the Rob from Kiss 106 and 103gbfrocks.com. Keeping it all in the family today with my tag team partner in podcasting. Look at that man, Travis Sams. What's happening, Travis?
You know, same stuff, different day. Huge night last night.
Yeah, big time Raw last night. Let's get into it.
Yeah, the McMahons finally making good on the promise they made a few weeks ago that things were going to change.
This was the first time that things felt a little fresh.
Yeah.
But I will say, I don't feel like that promise has been fulfilled as of yet.
It hasn't, but I think it was a start last night.
That I can get with, because this was the first time in a while where I had to have a conversation with you. I'm like, what do we even call today's episode?
Yeah.
Because there were three things that jumped out at me as being buzzworthy. In fact, it's not the one that I was going to go with, wasn't even the one that I went with.
Yeah.
The one I was thinking was Bobby Lashley wins Intercontinental Championship.
Which was very surprising.
Yeah, exactly. I did not see that one coming.
No.
There's another choice. Sorry about that. With Finn Balor declared #1 contender for Brock Lesnar's Universal title at Royal Rumble. And then the one I finally went with, after some convincing from you, WWE unveils new women's championship, tag team championships.
I think that in the long run, that's the thing that people are going to be talking about.
I feel like that is something that could be buzzworthy as far as people will be looking for.
Oh yeah.
On YouTube, something that they may have missed. I wanted to, we can start there because I thought that segment, the moment with Bliss, had a really weird ending.
Yeah. Heavy Machinery coming out and just being weird. I don't.
Yeah.
It was out of nowhere.
Well, and here's the thing. I almost got the impression that Paul and Alexa did not know it was happening. And they did not know how to recover from it.
And they went straight into the next match.
No, they didn't. Well, here's what they did. They went to the ring announcer who made introductions for, I think it was Finn Balor, and then went to break. It was super awkward.
Yeah, it was one of those things where it didn't really pan out well. It started well. You got to see the new titles. I was thinking maybe you might see Sasha and Bayley come out there, somebody who might be a contender for the titles. But then there was nothing. I mean, Heavy Machinery, I don't think they're going to win the women's tag team title.
It just felt really weird. Like, I don't think that Heavy Machinery went rogue, but I kind of felt like Alexa and Paul did not know that was coming.
Yeah. And it might have been a Vince call, be like, hey, get out there so that we can wrap this thing up.
No, or just to keep them on their toes. Like, this is part of the new thing. Plus, like, I don't know. Did it not feel... It felt very Attitude Era and very out of place. Yeah. To see Alexa get walked in on while she was changing. Which by the way, roll tide on that. I'm not complaining.
No.
But that feels like something that's part of the freshening up to me.
Yeah, I think with Vince and Triple H, that you might see a more edgier product, but I don't think it'll ever be what the Attitude Era was.
I don't think it ever will be either. You can say that for so many one thing that I was thinking about is just radio and how much that has changed in 20 years. Like, it's not the way it used to be.
No.
There's not like naked women everywhere. There's not
that's what I signed up for. Like, what am I doing here?
Well, even back at my last job, I used to do that stuff all the time. And then now it's like very Me Too. Mm-hmm. It's time. It's very anti-bullying. You don't make fun. Which
all are great things.
Absolutely. PG is the best. But
you can't go wrong with the Attitude Era.
You want to see the back of Alexa Bliss naked? I'm not complaining.
Well, not only that, but too, when you think about it, you think about how they have sometimes called it the reality era, and some of the way that the wrestlers might handle themselves in a feud, not very reality-esque. I mean, if you come up and beat me up and then you're going to cut a promo on me, you're not going to say, I'm going to kick your booty, or no, you're going to go all out. You're going to tell me how you feel.
That's very true. A lot of the way these wrestlers react to the situations they're put in.
Yeah.
Are very strange.
Yeah.
And that's actually the way I would use to describe the opening segment.
Mm-hmm.
I know that the mission was to get Braun out of the championship match because he's not ready to wrestle yet.
Yeah.
It just felt really like here's the guy who's been tipping stuff over his entire career.
Yeah.
And now he's in like, this doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, it's one of those things where that wasn't a good out. I don't.
That's the way.
I mean, I would have been okay with him saying, "Hey, Braun, you're not cleared to wrestle. We can't let you do it."
That, you know what, Travis? Even though that's like the easy way out, I agree that it was better. Like there was something about like, remember when the limo pulled up and Vince pointed out that it had a nick in a scruff or whatever, and the limo driver like smeared it out with his collar of his his sleeve or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it was just so convenient.
Exactly.
It was just too convenient for me.
That's the problem with the product, I think, today. A lot of convenience. Like, that's magically happening.
The word I use to describe that phenomenon is millennial booking.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is millennials and the world today, it's very immediate gratification.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have time to watch things unfold. We need a new champion. Okay, Jinder Mahal, we don't need to build him. We'll just make him a champion.
Yeah.
We'll tell them he is and they'll believe us because we don't have time to build like angles back in the day. And I know that just the world of wrestling is different, but back in the day, you had a year to build WrestleMania.
Right.
And now you have a month or, maybe the Rumble through. Everything's different. And then any other pay-per-view, shows a feud lasts 4 weeks and then on to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you next, as Ariana Grande would say.
Oh, and now it's getting even worse with them saying that the title rematch clause is null and void.
That might keep things fresh because I think rematches are one thing that are killing.
Well, I think so many. I think you get one rematch and that's it. But I mean, to continue a feud like 2009 Orton Cena, like that was all it was.
My God, the whole year.
Yes.
It was so bad. But then again, I feel like you can look at like 2 years ago and it was the same thing. Like, I don't know, 2017, I think of Orton and Mahal.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
And this year, in the past year, I should say, it was like Seth had Dolph Ziggler and Dean Ambrose.
Yeah.
And that's been it. And he's still with Dean.
Yeah.
So that's been kind of rough on me. And then what else do we see fresh last night? I guess you could say the push of Finn Balor.
Yeah, I would say that was a big thing. Finn coming out when everybody else came out to say, "Hey, I need this title shot at Rumble," and Vince. This is the convenience thing that it goes back to. Vince specifically called him out and said, "Hey, we've got a lot of beef in the ring, and you don't really have that much beef." And then in comes Jinder Mahal. He challenges Finn Balor. So at that point, Finn Balor's getting rubbed tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Why would they spend so much time on him?
Well, here was my other thing. First of all, if you're familiar with the term waterfall promo, it was definitely one of those. It was so organized. I talk and then someone else talks and then someone else talks. And it's just so convenient. But here's the thing. Again, if you're booking from a reality standpoint, if you remember before Vince came out, there was literally a line wrapped down the hallway of people who wanted to make their what's the word I'm looking for? Their case. They wanted to plead their case to Vince as to why they should be the one to face Brock at the Rumble. So then Vince comes out in the ring and 5 guys come out and actually like, what, if you're one of those guys that's in the line in the back, why wouldn't you come out like everyone else did?
And something that kind of rubbed me the wrong way was with that, I believe it was during the tag team match with the Revival, how they kind of had like a split screen and they were doing interviews backstage during the match.
Yeah.
Taking away from the match. I don't even know what happened in the match. I just remember EC3 standing there and smiling, and it was one of those things like, why are you doing this in the middle of a match?
Yeah, you see, what a debut for EC3.
Yeah.
No one's going to forget that. What a memorable debut for that guy. And then still Nikki Cross debuting. I was surprised that they debuted her as a face.
Not so much. No, because I think she's one of those things where she's just a basket case. Like, she could go either way. She could have turned on them at any point in time, and the fans would have probably cheered her. And
then didn't we see? Oh yeah, Heavy Machinery. We covered those guys.
Yeah.
Still no Lars Sullivan.
No, but from what I gather, he had like an anxiety attack.
Yeah.
And
that's my understanding.
Now his match with rumored match with Cena at Mania is in jeopardy.
I hope he can pull this together.
Yeah.
I heard that like part of it was he wasn't doing well backstage at Raw and then at SmackDown. And then part of it might also be WWE, where they used to maybe, tell him to go out there and do it anyway.
Yeah.
They're being especially sensitive to mental health issues.
Yeah.
And saying, if you need more time, we'll give you more time. But man, what a shame is that? Imagine you're finally at the opportunity, and then, I feel like anxiety in that situation is probably normal, but don't you feel bad about that timing?
Oh yeah.
I mean, my understanding is they have a big idea for him at Mania involving John Cena.
Yeah.
And you can't pull it out to debut. That's a shame.
Yeah.
That's a real shame.
It is. It is. Imagine, like, look, if he would have been able to make it to Mania, imagine that anxiety attack then. What are you going to do? You can't get out there and perform Mania?
I wonder if that's what they're thinking.
I mean, I that's what I would think.
I mean, they're giving you a WrestleMania moment right off the top, man. I hope he can pull it together.
Yeah.
I hope he can pull it together. But yeah, I mean, I know those things can be really serious.
Yeah.
And he's got to get himself together, I guess.
And I hope he will.
I hope so too.
But
what's his work like? Do you watch him in NXT?
Yeah. He's a powerhouse.
Is he someone that's great?
I mean, yeah, he's not terrible.
Okay.
I mean, he's your typical big guy.
That sums it up, I guess.
Yeah.
But he does look like a house, man. Like,
he'd
be a great monster heel.
Yeah.
So, there was one other thing I thought was really worth mentioning. We didn't talk about Lashley really. What do you think this means for Lashley's future?
So he kind of came into the title picture out of nowhere. I mean, he attacked Rollins last week, and that automatically puts him in the title picture. It was kind of odd to me.
That's millennial booking.
Yes.
So remember, the show started with an attack. Lashley and Rollins just started fighting.
Yeah.
Before anything happened, they just a cold open, and they're attacking each other.
Yeah.
That's millennial booking, where that was like they kept cutting to the back because they could. That should have played out over weeks.
I agree.
In my opinion, even if Seth's working with Dean, let it build a little bit.
So it kind of makes me think, what are their plans? Because they're not going to book a Rumble match with Ambrose and Lashley, but somebody's going to be returning soon. Somebody who was taken out by Bobby Lashley.
I'm trying to think of who you're thinking about.
Kevin Owens.
Oh, okay.
He returns as a face against Bobby Lashley. I think that could be some money.
Returns as a face against Bobby Lashley. Okay.
I mean, think about that pop that he got when he debuted in NXT.
That was humongous.
So maybe he returns at the Rumble and kind of goes after Lashley in the middle of the match, eliminates Lashley, and therefore he thinks, hey, I should have a title match.
Does this mean you think that Owens' return will not be tied into Zayn's?
Yes. I mean, well, I think they might both return at the Rumble, but to necessarily have it be something where they're together, I don't think it matters in this case.
I always enjoy your take on wrestling, Travis.
Yeah.
I think that you're a good fan. You're a good man. I saw, are things going back with you and Micus?
Yeah, Micus and I are cool. He is now the new Big B Pro Wrestling Champion.
I saw on Facebook you were proudly next to him holding the title.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of he didn't need me to help him with his in-ring ability, but he needed a push in the right direction to
sometimes
to get
that's what people like. Okay, if you want to be honest about it, while he's busy working on his body, working on his holds, working on his maneuvers, his wrestling, someone's got to be there to run the business. So
exactly, and that's what I'm there for. And hey, within less than a month, I've already made him the heavyweight champion. Imagine what else we can do.
Well, I think that speaks to your prowess. But last time we talked to you on this show, you were not happy with Micus.
Well, yeah, I wasn't, because I knew he had something, but he wasn't up to his full potential. So I took it upon myself to push him.
So you brought out the killer instinct and gave him what he needed to be a champion.
Absolutely. I mean, I think you can ask him and he'll tell you the same thing. He has become that force that he was meant to be, and all we needed was that push.
So where do we go from here? He's what championship is this?
Big B Pro Wrestling. Okay,
Big B Pro Wrestling champion. I remember he had NXT on his radar in the past, WWE. I know that we saw him on a SmackDown episode not too long ago. what can we expect from Micah's in the future under your tutelage?
Well, my goal is, because on that SmackDown episode, Daniel Bryan did attack him viciously. My goal is to eventually, hey, we're going to get Daniel Bryan. We're going to take that championship away from Daniel Bryan.
So you think that it will happen within this title reign?
Yeah. Who's going to beat him?
I don't know the answer to that.
Exactly.
And on that note, so you heard it here first. Mike Micus wants, or at least his manager, Travis.
You got to set those goals high.
I'm trying to find. I got 8 mice over here trying to find. There it is. That's the one I was looking for. Look seriously. Here's 1 mouse, 2, 3. Hold on, I have a 4th one. 4. I got all these mice, man. I got mice. Travis, thank you for being here. Can you watch SmackDown tonight?
I will be watching SmackDown.
All right, Travis will weigh in on SmackDown, which is actually my preferred show here lately.
Absolutely, I agree.
We'll get to all that and more tomorrow with another episode of Post to Post. And thanks for filling in while Jerry is in Mexico, learning how to do some of the Hurricane Ranas, some planchas.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Lucha Libre.
Yes. Guadalajara, Mexico City. Yeah, he's learning actually at the Lucha House Party. So,
great. Good for him.
We'll see him next week. But thank you, Travis.
No problem.